Hello students, welcome to the session once again. See, in the distributed systems, we are in the last topic, that is a consistency protocol in the consistency and replication procedure. Now, let us move into the session. So, already we discussed about the consistency models. So, as we know, the models are into three types, right? So, the three types that are the concept of consistency models which we are discussed are of the three types, right? So the three types are nothing but the first one is the data centric, second is the client centric. So in the client centric we got a new thing, that is the eventual consistency model. So after having this, now we have to know which protocol to be used at which point, right? Now already we have all the types. Now let us go with the consistency protocols we have. Now coming to the point, why we need consistency model first of all? See, to know the model, we are gone with the procedure, that is nothing but how to maintain the data same at all the levels of the replication, right? So if there are 10 replicated data sources of server 1, all the replicated data sources must be having the same values, same variables, right? So for that, how we have to maintain with respect to the protocols. I mean, which protocol to be called at which point is a point, right? So for this, we have already know the models, right? The sequential and the weak type and also the atomic. See, coming to the sequential consistency, after updating a read procedure, then if you are getting a write procedure, we should be giving the read once again when any other resource is asking. Once this get updated completely, only we should give chance to the read operation. So this is nothing but sequential we have seen. Now weak consistency is nothing but in the strong consistency, as we know, after having n, the replicated data of 10, all the replicated data must be same value, that is strict replication, strict consistency. Now what is weak consistency? At few points we are giving a chance that to update for a while, then you update the data. So, we are waiting for a while and we are updating the data, right? At that moment itself we are not updating. So that is nothing but a weak consistency. Atomic transactions means if we are having a proper procedure operations. So if I am having a read operation, after successful completion of read, I should go with the write operation. So that indicates that successful commitment, successful completion should be there in the atomic transaction. So these are very important when we are dealing with n number of transactions, financial transactions, right? So here we have the major consistency protocol named as a primary based protocol. Now in the primary based protocol, each data item we will concentrate, right? Each data item in every replica we will concentrate. Now for this, who will be coordinating with the data? Primary is responsible. So who is primary now? Primary is nothing but out of n number of replicas, out of n number of replicator servers, one replica server will be selected as a coordinator. Got it? After the selection procedure, this replica, which is a coordinator, will be taking care of all the read and write operations to that data item in the environment. Got it? Now, this will be coordinating with all the replica write operations, right? When we have updates. Now, there are two types of primary based protocols. The first one is the remote, second is the local. So, coming to the remote write. So what do you mean by remote write? See, read will be always at a safe level because we are going to just see the content. Yes, but write operation must be done successfully because writes will be very important, because why we are stepping this point is write must be completed at 100%. If you are not completed with the write operation and if you are reading something else, instead of hi, hello, how are you in a file 1, you may get bye, see you later. So this ambiguity of the data, inconsistency of the data, we should not see, right? So the write plays important role among all the operations in the transactions, right? Now coming to the remote write protocol. See, remote write protocol is nothing but our replicas will be available somewhere in the distributed system. Now, without having a proper knowledge of where this data is available, we are going to move to that data and we are going to update the data. Now, how we are doing that? So here we can see a better example. Now, coming to here, this is a basic client server system. See, where a server will be there and all the clients will be connected to this. If the clients are remotely connected to this server, we say the system as a remote write protocol, and here we will be maintaining client server protocol. Now if you take this better example, if I have data sources like this and I have a server source. Now client will be asking for a request that I have to write something. Now immediately you forward request to server. See, immediately this data source will be forwarding the request to the server. Got it? So this is a centralized server, that is a replication coordinator. Now when this gets the request to write from the client, this will be giving back acknowledge that you can write. Okay. Now that request gone and you can write. So we are giving the write completion operation. Got it? So this is a one client. Now when we have the other client which is under read operation, client is asking for the read operation. Now your server will be ready. See, even though these are the replicas, this replica is connected with this server replica. This replica is connected with this server replica. Got it? Now instead of giving its values, it will connect with the main single server and it will give the read operation. From here it will get the data. So that is what the single server or the coordinated server, which we are about to say every time in the remote write protocol, and this is a very, very important point in the client server systems. Got it? Now, next is a primary backup. So how we have to maintain the backup system? See, after all the operations, whatever we are performing, we have a single primary server, right? So this single primary server is responsible for the addition of the data or deletion of the data or just reading of the data to n number of clients, right? Now, when we are having any update in this primary server which is selected as a coordinator, this coordinator will be always giving a backup as a backup server, right? If this is deleted in the distributed system, I mean somewhat crashed out at one point, we will be having the backup of this particular primary server. So something happened, somebody has attacked this, hacking happened, and this was deleted. Now how to get the data back? Immediately its replica we have, right, as a backup. So we will replace this here. So this is a simpler way to get our data back when we have something, even though that may be an attack or else due to some reasons, infrastructure reasons, some crashes may be happening, right? So for that reason, we have to maintain all these safe points, right? So this is a primary backup to our main source, which is leading the source, right? Now this is the local write. So this is very simpler one. This is nothing but every system environment will be having a single copy of the data, right? So there will be no multiple replicas, we are saying. At that environment, I am maintaining my data. See, let us go for client is having some variable X. So that X I am not maintaining in my server. That X I am maintaining with my system. Got this? So after I get I give some data to this X value. This data, same as it is, I will migrate to the server. So that is what will be happening in the local write protocol. See, local write is responsible for to update your value at your environment first of all. When server requests, server initiated we say, right? So when server requests for this point, the client will migrate this data to the server. So here the code migration, update migration is very, very important play. For that reason, the data item should be always transferable, means we should give the access to get it accessible with other sources also. Got this? So this is procedure, we call it as a fully migrating approach also. So if the question in your examinations, instead of giving explain in detail about local right, you can get the question explain in detail about fully migrating approach. So you should not get confused, and the thing which you have to write is very simpler, that is about the local right protocol. Okay, so the other names also you should remember in your brain all the time. Now coming to the example, it is very simpler. Here the server we have, and the client is requesting for a value update. Now you have updated the value here and you got the value. Now when we are updating the value, your item should be moved, your item to the client server. So that is what we are doing, right? So whenever you have some value needed, you will migrate this value here to the main server. That's it, very simple. And if this data source is requested with that value, you will migrate this value here. So which server is asking the data? To that server. So let us assume new server. So this is an old server. Okay, old server is having the data. New server is requesting for the data. So from old server, we should migrate the data and client must get the response. That's it. So this should get service from this server. That is the only agenda we have. But from which end we are getting the data is a server end decision. Got this? So this is about the local right protocol example. So if you have any doubt in consistency and replication, please be free to contact anytime. Thank you.